They're the worst.
They're the worst.
Hello and welcome to The Worst Critics, and welcome to our new sort of mini series that, mentally I was thinking Blackjack or Wackjack, or Blackjack or Cackjack. I was going through multiple things. I didn't want to put it instead of Jack, if you know what I mean. But so we are going to talk about the first two OVAs for the Blackjack OVA series. Original video animation, I believe, is what OVA stands for. And I don't know why we don't just call them movies. But yeah, big picture on the first one.
I mean, one, cool idea. Two, decent execution. Three, 90s anime.
Yeah, big picture is 90s anime for sure. I mean, really, I think that did the big picture, really.
All right, see you next week.
Yeah. And I don't know, pros and cons feels weird. I feel like we can just kind of talk about stuff. Is that just me?
Yeah, I mean, do we keep it spoiler free? I guess we should have done this not on the air, but fuck it, YOLO, we ball.
Who cares? If they're gonna
Spoilers?
listen to this, they'll listen to other, our other stuff. It's not gonna stop them. I think they get the vibe, at least. Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of talk about it. The first episode, I don't know if it was the best choice for a pilot episode, as much as it kind of hinted at background things. I do think
Can I interrupt you?
Yeah.
Do you know like anything about like the production of this OVA versus the manga or anything?
No, if you want to explain.
Because I only learned about it from the wiki, so yeah, maybe some context is good. But basically, this was a manga from 1973 to 1983. They had some, I forget, like 100-some episodes, 200-some episodes, or whatever the fuck
Chapters.
they called the books. Yeah, thank you, chapters. And the OVA got started in 93, so literally like a 10-year anniversary, like celebration of like a really celebrated manga. And OVA 1, this Chimera Man one, Iceberg Chimera Man, or whatever it was translated to in English. Yeah, whatever.
As the dub comes in.
Yeah, is episode or chapter 119 of the manga.
Oh, okay. So it's really just deep in already.
Correct.
So is there an original anime show before this? Because I know there is an anime show.
First, and then a movie for the 10-year anniversary of the OVA.
Might have to do that too.
And then a TV series that went on for like another 10, 11 years. So I think everything finished up in like 2011 or something.
Okay, so theoretically we are watching chronological release.
Chronologically, correct.
Okay, great. All right, I was making sure we didn't, flub. Big flub.
But like everything is not in manga order.
Right.
Like every TV series and special and everything from here on out is like, you go like 116, 125, 57, like just scrolling through some of these, like it's not really chronologic.
Gotcha. Well, that makes sense why it's such a weird kind of onboarding pilot, because while it does hint at some background things, I mean, his whole shtick, it doesn't tell you anything about his face or his hair or the scars and the, the stitches, the little girl who's 18.
Yeah,
it doesn't tell you anything about that, so that makes a lot more sense. I still find it weird that they would just kind of jump into this with the OVAs and not give anyone for non-readers, I guess it's not a huge part of the audience, but at the same time, I mean, not everyone's gonna read your 200 chapter manga before watching the TV show. So going back to just talking about the actual episode, like you said, it's very 90s. It has some fantastic artwork. I mean, I don't think you can understate it in any way, shape, or form. The art is phenomenal. The animation sometimes lacks, I'll be honest. It's a little lacking. But again, the artwork, the shading, the character designs, everything feels so specific, or it has its own individuality every character seems as though they are their own complete character, even these weird side characters, um, such as the wife of the Chimera Castle dude, the Chimera Castle dude, his assistant who's having an affair with the wife. I mean, everything felt very alive within the episode, and that's always good. It's always great.
Yeah, no, agreed. I think go back to your first point about
Hmm.
it really not establishing itself and you sort of just getting tucked in. I think it does a fine enough job.
Yeah,
It's not like the worst first episode in the world, but my comp would be like, again, I only have a handful of animes to compare this to, but if you just jumped into Detective Conan and had no idea he was like a high school student or anything first, and you're like, why is this kid like a detective? And everyone's like, just fine with that. You have like a
right.
masked dude and a baby lady solving, disease instead of murder. It's just like it just doesn't really quite add up. And it's not like the least anime thing of all time, but it's definitely an anime thing of all time.
Yeah, and honestly, what I can appreciate is that they didn't have any overlong expositions. I mean, they do talk about him being a doctor and being the best in the world, yada yada, but they don't just have a paragraph of being, Blackjack was a successful doctor until some accident, blah 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 blah. So it's nice that this was kind of its own, standalone thing that you can enjoy again without specifically or technically having to have all the background. I will say that does again leave some room for growth because again the little girl 18-year-old thing just kind of stands out. It's just kind of they just say, "Yeah, she's 18." Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll
Just
leave it. I'll leave it since I got it spoiled when I was like trying to find stuff on the wiki
wow.
page. I mean, it's literally the second thing. It describes a character and it just literally in the first sentence spoils it. So I won't spoil it for you, but there is an explanation at
Well,
some
I
point, I'm
was
sure.
assuming it would kind of hint at it and then we'd get maybe a later episode that delves more into their backgrounds. But now that you say, or now earlier that you said that it's 10 years after the manga or whatever, I don't know if that's actually going to happen. It's kind of just what I assumed, kind of lead or leave hints around it and then explain it later, have flashback episodes, yada yada. Um, but yeah, now I'm not so sure. So I don't know if that goes against or for this episode. Um, I will say, the animation, like I said, sometimes it wasn't great. There are a ton of still shots for framing, a constant amount of those, I don't know what they call them, just splash, scenes where it's just kind of hyper detailed, hyper colored, whatever you want to call it, and then it just kind of goes to the next scene. And I don't think those were really necessary at all. They could have just kind of cut to the next scene. Well, you got to give it to them because it's freaking hand drawn animation and it still looks fantastic at times. But at the same time, there's a lack of motion. There's a
Oh
severe
yeah,
lack of motion.
very obvious. These are like almost the direct pages turned into video.
Yeah.
Um, and again, I don't know what they call that either, but yeah, the like, non-colorized, clear, like sketching out of a shot
Yeah.
as the shot. Like those happen 5, 6 times each
It
episode.
was a
Like,
lot. No, it was a
yeah,
lot. And then
not ideal.
that's not even counting the almost the scenes, such as the what was it, the flashback scene. I forget which scene it was, but they would just kind of pan down a surgery table, and then Blackjack would just be talking, giving a mini monologue. Um, Again, I understand, I get it. That's a lot of work, but at the same time, it feels a little stilted. Feels a little stilted.
But,
And honestly, my big problem with the first episode is kind of the intrigue was all right, but I felt as though the resolution wasn't there. It was just kind of he sort of figured it out.
I mean, yeah, specifically with the first episode, no,
Yeah,
agreed
first
completely.
episode.
I was gonna say, to deep dive it a bit. Again, not a doctor, by the way. For disease that's lethal, yes, it lingers, but they said it was like, endemic for like 150 years to this island.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it just wipes you out over 150 years. I don't think diseases sort of like that are lethal. It's not like it's like the flu and some people just beat it. It sounds like everyone who gets it dies.
Yeah, but it doesn't
And it's
activate.
yeah, but it wasn't like everyone has it and it's just dormant.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. But
It's just it
then
only affects some people? Question
no,
mark. Like,
no,
it
no,
just didn't
no. It
really
was
quite make
dormant.
sense.
No, it was dormant. It was dormant in the Castle Man because he got it as a child and then came back and it hit him. Or I assumed he had gotten it as a child, but you could be right about that. I don't know, but that's not even specifically what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the actual literal ending.
Oh, I know.
He
Yeah,
didn't
like that. He
cure it.
literally like dissects the guy, and they're like, "Oh, we're working on a cure now." The end.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking you couldn't figure out that there's a shining blue ball in a chest.
But that's what I'm getting at, right? Like, if this thing is supposedly wrecking people's lives and destroying a whole island, like, either you work quickly to figure out what the fuck is going on, you try a bunch of shit and none of it works, or you recognize there's a blue glowy orb in someone's heart, and heart surgery's not good until now, and maybe now there's a way to do it, but like
That
none
could
of
be
that's
it.
really explained. It's just sort of like pictures and
Yeah, it's
hyperbole.
very brushed over, and it ends with this weird news report with a misspelled name. Doesn't matter. Um, but are there not paralytic things to give to people when they're having seizures?
Oh, totally. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And was this a thing in the 90s, or did the writer creator just kind of go, whatever?
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, basically, these 2 episodes are full of quote unquote, I'm gonna say accurate medical things,
A lot of the jargon seemed accurate, and I'm not even a doctor.
but again, their approach to this case as opposed to the other case, very strange. Like, it felt like they had consulted doctors to, like, make sure the medical stuff was down and not, like, the actual like, the medical jargon was down and not the medical proceduring.
Well, I think the writer creator was a physician. I think that's why the jargon's so good. I'm
Hmm.
I'm not 100% on that, but I'm pretty sure the creator was an actual physician in Japan, and this was after he made Astro Boy, because same guy made Astro Boy.
Oh,
It
yeah.
it even tells you in the intro credits. It literally says like from the creator of Astro Boy. So I just find that funny because that means nothing nowadays. Um, yeah, but I think the creator's a physician. So I mean, so it seems like he just had to kind of stretch it where he could. I'd say after 100 chapters, it's kind of hard to make medical Marvel mystery kind of things. But yeah, this first episode, it was fine. Not my favorite thing in the world. I was just really bummed by the resolution. It felt just a little empty is all. It felt as though he's hyped up to be this great doctor and then he doesn't cure the thing. So, I don't know. Just felt a little empty is all. But
No, totally fair.
anything else on the first episode?
Um, no, I think there was one more small thing. Oh, yeah, I was just gonna touch on the point of, like, the side characters, like you mentioned, like,
Hmm.
I think they do a good job of establishing the world in that, the side characters are interesting and I wanna hear more about them, and then they sort of just disappear, and that's fine also,
Right.
but I, again, wish they deep dove just a little bit, not really deep dive, just, like, explain a little bit about who the fuck Blackjack is. Because, like, I think even in the first episode, you hear, like, he's an unlicensed doctor,
Yeah.
and you're
Yeah.
like, so why is he unlicensed? Like, why is he just some rogue, like, vigilante doctor? Why is this young chick who's actually an adult with like, none of it makes sense. Also, we don't really, like, know his age. Like, I
No,
can't
he's
tell if
kind
he's,
of
like,
40
also young,
ish.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, is he also just, like, an 18-year-old prodigy
Well, see, I
kinda
kind of
guy?
I kind of chalked it up to intrigue for the further episodes, like I said a few minutes ago. But again, since you said that this was way after the fact, now I'm kind of worried that they'll never explain any of that, and that might be interesting. I
Yeah,
just
and
don't
again,
know if
this
it
is
would be
not a
great.
spoiler for anything, but I
Hmm.
think several of the OVAs are like combined episodes, and they're not even like sequentially combined. Like one of the ones coming up is like 19 and 125.
Oh, what?
Yeah, so like I don't know how they're gonna do it. Like I'm not reading the blurbs because I don't want spoilers. I'm just
Right.
like looking at what they titled the episode, and then it shows me in the wiki page like which manga chapters it correlates to, and again, doesn't make any sense
Well,
to me.
maybe the 19 is the explanation stuff that we're looking for, maybe, hopefully.
Right, hopefully.
If not, I don't know. It's gonna get a little weird. Oh yeah, I do want to add that the first episode had this cool water motif where I was kind of convinced the water was the problem the whole time until it was just, yeah, no, some random sickness, which is fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. I really enjoyed that visual. We had the whirlpools and we had the guy, the kid almost
Well, there was a
drowning.
I think there was a water motif, right? Because you die of
Oh,
dehydration.
I mean, well, yeah, for sure. I mean, water was a part of it, but it did kind of give me a red herring, which I enjoy because I was just like, well, water's poison, duh. I mean, but so yeah, I actually enjoyed that quite a bit. I also, you know what, to backpack off your side character thing, the sibling doctors, I felt like we kind of missed some background for them. I know she explained it, but when she was talking about how her brother died and she's like, "Okay, dad." Did we get anything about her dad or did she just kind of mention it?
I think she just kind of mentioned it.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I honestly, this could have been longer, but since they already had a lot of still shots and frames, it seems like they were already working on a budget.
Yeah.
So, I do wish it were a little more longer. Just a little bit. Just a little longer. But that all for the first one?
Yeah. So what do we call it? Jack on? Jack off?
No, well, I was saying Wackjack, Blackjack or
I know. I know.
Wackjack.
I know.
But yeah, no,
That's
I think it's a jack on. I think it's a jack on
yeah.
for
Yeah, Jack
sure.
on. Jack on.
Yeah, I guess I should write down the titles of the episodes. Do you have those on hand?
Iceberg Chimera Man.
Nice. And it's spelt like Chimera?
Uh sort of. It's like the British way, I think, with the like
Because
A.
them saying Kamara over and over again was really tripping me out because I just assumed, oh yeah, that's just kind of I think Greek or British version,
But
yeah. Huh.
but then there's this spelling in the like body of the episode description.
Oh, well, that makes a lot of sense. That's what they were saying. Okay, weird. All right.
But I think that's like I forget what it's called. But like when Japanese is spelled out in English Latin characters,
is there a
I think
term for
that
that?
is chimera. And well, no, I forget. I was gonna say what the Japanese characters are called, and then say they're put into Latin characters. I just don't remember what the
Kanji,
Japanese
something like
characters are
that.
called. Kanji, yeah, I think that's right.
Uh,
Um,
mhm.
when the kanji is translated to English, that's how it's spelled because that's how it's pronounced. But that's the
Gotcha.
literal English word is chimera.
So it's honestly kind of funny to think that they could localize it well enough to have these super in-depth medical terms, but they couldn't localize it well
Translate.
enough to have Chimera.
Yeah.
Huh.
And clearly this was the dub, so like even the English
Hmm.
actors were like, "Hmm,
Yeah, I mean, hey,
I guess it's chimera."
they probably just read what they saw. I mean, can't
Yep.
blame the actors for any of the localization. Okay, episode 2. What's the title for episode 2?
A funeral, the procession game.
Huh.
Yep.
That doesn't really make sense to me. Okay. Sure. I enjoyed episode 2 a lot more. I think it had more intrigue. The side characters were a little more developed. There was an actual mystery, even though it was, simplistic for what it was. It was still suspenseful enough that Blackjack's role made a lot of sense. And his kind of, you know, his piece of the puzzle made more sense than the first episode, whereas the first episode was kind of like, well, he just cut him open, you know? The second episode, it's actually, oh, Blackjack is actually a badass who can do all these things, who can figure out hints and clues and deduce
Right.
all these
Doctor
things.
House the shit out of it.
Yeah, exactly. It's very much more like House, which is a good thing, which is a great thing, really. But, so, second episode, big picture.
Peyote's a hell of a drug. That's the big picture.
Yeah, I assumed it was just trying to be a fake peyote. What'd they call
No,
it?
no, real peyote.
Oh,
It's real peyote.
is that what they call it?
It was like mescaline from the cactus.
No, but they didn't say the word peyote. They
Oh no,
said
because peyote's like the
pay.
street name.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, yeah. Like it's not called peyote's mescaline. It's the chemical.
Well,
Peyote's just
yeah,
like a.
but it started with a P, so I just assumed they were kind of making a fake version of peyote.
I honestly don't remember what they called it.
Oh, okay. Well,
But even like reading the blurb, it's like it literally says
peyote.
mescaline,
Oh,
like in the blurb. So they weren't trying to rip it. It was it.
okay. Well, I
Again,
just
might be
thought they
one of
were
those
doing a little.
chimera, chimera
Yeah,
things.
exactly. A little localization problem, maybe. I will say, kind of off big picture, because I don't know. It's kind of weird to do big pictures for something so short. Um, I will say that they did have the same animation problems, even though I'd say there were a lot more money shots, if you will. Such as the fake Ferrari driving through the ocean. That was awesome. Like I had to back it up just to see it again. And the fire, the flamethrowers and all that, the animation and the art, I would say, maybe not way better, but it was definitely better than the first episode, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, I mean the whole like cops
Hmm.
and the cartel
The
and
syndicate.
the girls dying. The only thing I didn't really like is the weird like if he is 40s sexual tension between teenagers. I
Don't worry about it.
know
Don't worry about
anime,
it.
blah
Don't
blah
worry about
blah. I know, but like come on,
it. Japan
guys.
can't
Like
help themselves, or at least old Japan can't help themselves. Uh, yeah, it does specifically say she's a sophomore in high school, and then it's 6 months after she says that. So she's still not much older.
yeah. And
And
even if it's the legal age, it just you don't have to do it. You know, he doesn't need to kiss her. He doesn't
well,
need to touch
so
her. You know?
I'll even kind of don't at me, never quote me on this. I'll even kind of excuse the character. My big thing is that they gave it fan service by having
Yep.
when she's doing the ice skating and stuff,
Yep.
and it does the
Mm-hmm.
slow pans on
Right.
her.
Yep. Right. And
That's
short
my
skirt and
bigger
panning like head to
problem.
toe. Yeah.
Because,
Yep.
grossly argue consent laws in Japan or whatever, what have you. Maybe there's some okayness, quote unquote, with him and her, but it's not okay with me as a viewer.
Yeah. Exactly. You don't have to subject me to it.
Yeah, I think that was my biggest issue. And luckily, they only did it twice. So I guess that's better. It's not crazy better, but it's better. Yeah. And I even like how it kind of drip fed this world more because in the first episode, you get the case, you get the characters just immediately, and it doesn't really do much to build anything. I mean, they're still fine, but it just didn't feel like we were eased into anything. Whereas this, we had the ice skating incident, we had him flying with the crooked cop. Then we had the whole talk of the syndicate and all that. So it was actually a lot better build up and a lot better just introduction to this current mystery. So I think it was set up a lot better in this one.
Agreed. I was doing a little investigative journaling. They do
Journaling?
call it Peruto.
Aha.
So
Is that a translation thing or
I
is
think. Yeah. I mean,
Peruto
I
a
think
thing?
it's. I think. I mean, come on, dude. Peyote.
I mean, it was very similar, and it was cactus, and it was flowers, or the flowers from the cactus, or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, and I mean, going back to kind of the introduction to the mystery, again, as I said, the mystery itself is a lot more digestible, and you're kind of guessing, even though it's kind of obvious after a minute or so, but you're guessing what could be wrong or what ties this all together because they kind of just had these random pieces, the crooked cop, the bridge, the suicide. They had these random pieces that you had to put together along with Blackjack, and almost not interactive in a way, but it did feel as though as the audience I was having a more active role than the first part.
For sure. for sure. I also again, just to point out this whole like manga episoding to OVA episoding.
Hmm.
So episode 1 was 119, episode 2 is 124. So like these aren't that far away from each other, and I also agree I don't think we learned anything new
No.
necessarily about Blackjack or like any of the backstory, but it's a much more inviting and interesting case. The one thing I brought this up about is that like it's Japan, but it's not Japan. Like, what is S City? Like, that's where they are.
Oh yeah, and they kept okay, right.
So it's like also
Uh,
not Earth or like not like quote unquote, real world Earth, but everything else is the same. I don't really like when shows do that. So that kept getting in my head a little bit.
I guess. I mean, I kind of understand. I don't love it. Don't love it, but as someone who's done it before in his own right, I'm okay with it. I mean, a city could just be, a colloquial nickname for Shinjuku. I don't know. Could be something like that. Could just be, maybe it's even a localization thing. Or
That's
does it say
true.
that in the description?
It says S City in the
Ah,
description,
well,
but
crap. Okay.
it could be a thing.
It could be, or it could just be they needed a city that didn't really have any real world implications because they are implying that this city is fully corrupt with syndicate who can speak Spanish by the end of it and all. Uh,
A peyote man.
yeah, I know.
I think it was all right there. I think he brought the cacti from the um, whatever
Syndicate.
syndicate. Yes.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed the foil villain of kind of being an anti-Blackjack, where he's just this asshole doctor who hasn't really doctored in a while, whereas Blackjack's not a doctor and he doctors all the time.
Well, he is a doctor. He just doesn't have a license.
Sorry, unlicensed. Okay, but Tokyo, quote unquote Tokyo, he was licensed and didn't really do doctor shit anymore. He's too busy being a badass and racing cars and doing peyote.
Yeah, true.
Which is the life, just so we're clear. Just
Yeah.
to be a Nepo baby and own a hospital doing peyote and
Right.
racing
Take your
cars.
helicopter from point A to drive your car to point B.
If he didn't act the way he did, Tokyo's got the coolest life in the world.
Also, like, to comment on the plot a little bit, like,
Mhm.
it seems like such a weird way to deal with the peyote is to, like, put a girl in a coma.
I try not to judge any of that because 90s doctors, what did they know?
But, like, why not just kill? Like, they could have just done anything. She's just a little girl that seemingly no one gave that much of a shit about, except the friend. Why not just, like, you know, throw him off the mountain into the ocean kind of situation?
That'd be too obvious. Duh. Then the
Yeah,
cops
would
would
do
know the
right,
syndicate's part of it.
right. This is Peyote Mountain.
Yeah, they're trying to blame it all on the peyote, okay? I mean, I guess you have a point there. I don't question, I watched all of House or, I've watched The Pit and I just don't question anything they do. I just gotta let it happen. Just let it go.
Sure. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Because, you can only write so many medical mysteries. I mean, the human brain, there's no way you can just write
Well, and there's
unlimited.
just also so many medical problems, Like, if we knew
Exactly.
more about it, we would just have an answer.
Right, exactly. There
So if it's
wouldn't
gonna be
be
like a
no
mystery,
mystery.
yeah, exactly.
So yeah, answered your own question with that one. Um, I don't really have anything else on the part two. I think I've already talked about the animation and stuff. I will say, even with part one and part two, the dub really isn't bad for 90s anime dubs. I was actually quite impressed.
Agreed. And this one, I mean, it did a lot of those interspersed black and white things,
Yeah,
but
but it was
there's less
better.
drawing in this one. Yep.
It
So
was way better because it wasn't relegating action sequences to those.
right, it was
Whereas,
like here's a shot of her in the hospital, not
right.
like car chase.
Whereas
Even though there's no
part
car chase
one
in the
was
first one.
very much action scene. Oh, we're gonna replace it with a still splash shot, which works, but. Um, I think that's all I have to say for part 2. I'm trying to think. It's kind of hard because again, can't really say, the editing or anything like that. It's kind of hard to judge animation editing because with animation they have to kind of slow down scenes. They're forced to because, they have to draw it. So I mean, I guess you could say, the editing in both these are good. It's just kind of hard to judge it. I do want to ask, when he was doing the the brain operation on the girl's friend, the whole hand chainsaw, is that was that kosher? Is that how doctors do it?
I mean, it largely depends on
If you
what
didn't
you're removing
have
and where, but no, I don't think that that's how that would be done.
Okay, I mean, because it was
But it looks
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
It
That's
looked
a
really
2D magic.
cool. I mean, and I think I forgot to mention this for the first part when he was slicing up the guy and doing those freaking Death Note writing moves. He was, just like stretching his arm all the way out. I loved that. I would love if surgeons actually acted like that, just all dramatic and basically theatrical. Obviously it's bad, but it'd be a lot cooler. So
True.
yeah, I mean, the show has a style that I enjoy. I don't particularly love, but I'm excited for the next one. What's episode 3 and 4 called?
Episode 3 is called Decoration of Maria and Her Comrades.
Mm-hmm.
And episode 4, spoiler alert, is called Anorexia, the Two Dark Doctors.
Wow, kind of just saying it up front, huh? Well,
I did have one more thing that I forgot about till now.
Go for it. I mean, I think we hit the mark of where I want, but we should draw this out a little bit.
Just medical, ization-y things.
Do it. That's why you're
Obviously
here.
it does jargon well, but one of my pet peeves in these types of shows, they show like EKG strips or like the telemetry monitoring, like the continuous heart monitoring.
Mm-hmm.
And they show something that like is not a pulse. Like it just squiggles everywhere. It doesn't make any sense. And like it would take literally a half second to look up like normal EKG and just draw those lines.
Okay, wait. I mean, what do they show versus what does a pulse look like?
I'll show you the screenshot, and so like the flat bar is like isoelectric, meaning like there's no electrical current being recorded by the monitor, which is fine.
Okay.
That's normal. Like between heartbeats, it should be flat. And then again, this is showing a bunch of spikes, like crazy amount of spikes. Like every time the heart beats, it should be like a single voltage of
so
current
that's
through the ventricle.
8 half
so, like,
beats or whatever.
Correct. It's like that's like VFib basically. Like that's like a death.
They're dying. Oh, okay.
Yeah, like that's not good. And this is like a normal EKG. So you have like the top part of the heart, the bottom part of the heart, and then like the repolarization of the heart. The end.
Yeah, whereas the first picture is literally mountain peaks.
Yeah, just like nonsense, like like death.
What do you know, huh? What do you know? Were there any other medical? I mean,
well, I was trying to find the exact image of the chain handsaw because when you said it, I was like, "Oh fuck, I forgot they did that."
Yeah, he put the chain through. It was about halfway through the episode.
Yeah, no, that's where I am at, and like I see he's got like the syringe, and he's got like her brain here.
Yeah, it's just in the middle of the brain operation, cerebral, whatever you want to call it, brain operation. But do you have anything else before we go? Because I mean, 34 minutes. I think we hit the mark. I think we sort of know what to talk about more for 3 and 4.
No, I think that's pretty much it. Kind of chill.
Oh, one tiny thing before we go. Was she wearing an Ash Ketchum outfit, and or was Ash Ketchum based on her outfit, the teenage girl from episode 2?
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah. The red hat, the blue jacket, the jeans.
Yeah, I mean, I know it was technically what are those jackets called?
Denim,
What?
denim, like
No,
a
no, no, no. Letterman.
varsity jacket.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
that thing.
yeah. I know that it was technically different than Ash's baseball shirt, but I just couldn't get it out of my head, and I'm thinking, was that a regular outfit in Japan at the time? Are they based on the same sort of origin?
90s sort of boring. This is what school kids wear.
Yeah, like that's just what a kid wears, you know. I mean, it just made me wonder. It's not as though, yeah, Ash was literally copied, but at the same time, it does make me wonder. But if that's all we got for episode 1 of Blackjack or Wackjack. Oh wait, no wait, it was episode 2, Jack on and Jack off.
I mean, definitely Jack on. It's a better episode.
Yeah, I think it was a way better episode. Honestly, if this was the first episode, I wouldn't have complained. I think it would have been totally fine. And then if this were the first episode, I wouldn't be wondering about the little girl constantly.
Agreed.
But that has been episode 1 of Blackjack or Wackjack. Join us next time as we go through episodes 3 and 4. Until then, we are out of here.
Peace.
They're the worst.